This is the Amaran Ace 25C, and this is a really cool pocket LED light. It's RGBW, so you can control the color, temperature, and also you can make it whatever color you want, and there's a ton of different effects. It's very easy to control either using the knob and a couple simple buttons on it, or you can also connect this to all your other Aperture or Amaran lights. Use the Sidus Link application or the new Amaran Creators app, which is so easy to use, and I love using that with this because I can integrate it with my setup of all my other Amaran lights. The 25C really makes a great pocket size light that you can use either to add a pop of color to a scene or to add accents around your room, and it comes in at a very reasonable price tag. I also really love using this on top of my camera if I need to get fill light for a close-up shot that I'm not otherwise going to be able to bring a light with the light stand on it. So the light is very simple in terms of the controls. You have a USB-C port for charging this, or you can also even use this as a power bank in a pinch to charge your phone or another device. And then there's the knob that allows you to go through the menu. And then there's also the back button on it that you can use to easily navigate. Also, you click it to go into any of the menu items. Then there's an off-on slider switch on the side. This one takes just a second to turn on, but I find it's pretty fast to get access to. So you can go from CCT to HSI mode. HSI mode is really fun if you want to get some color added in a scene, and this just makes a great accent light. You can use it as a fill light, a rim light, or you can light other items with it as well. Also, I love the little diffuser dome that they give you too. I usually have this on it because it just softens the light a little bit and makes it a little bit more even than just the LEDs that are on it. Another thing that's really interesting about this light is the Ace lock that they put on the bottom of it. So you get this little combo mount that has a cold shoe and a quarter 20 on it, and it actually just locks on to the bottom of the Ace 25C light, and it does a really good job at locking in place. If you want to remove it, you just press the button and you pop it right off, then you're back in business. The thing I don't really like about this mount though is you actually have to use an Allen wrench if you want to tighten it, which I haven't had a need to yet. It did come in pretty stiff though, but after breaking it in a little bit, it was easier to adjust. So you can use this to mount this on top of a camera or a camera cage. I really like using this as a fill light whenever I'm getting close-up B-roll. So this makes a really good compact setup that's very easy to mount in different places. Also, if you want, you can just use the quarter 20 thread that's on the top of the light as well. It's just a little bit more of a pain to take it off. Another thing that's interesting, they put a magnet on this as well, but the magnet is in the battery bulge, so it's not quite enough magnetic surface area to mount this on a ton of things, but the magnet does come in handy in a pinch, and I found a couple different ways that I can mount this on metal with the magnet, but I wish that the magnet went across the whole thing. Another thing that's really interesting about this is it has a fan on the inside of it. I never had any issues with fan noise, but some people have said that they did have some fan noise issues. Your mileage may vary, and it might just depend on the microphone setup and how bright you're running this. What's really interesting about this light to me is just how bright it is. I didn't realize when I got this that it was going to be capable as being as bright as it actually is. So if you put it at the 100% brightness, it is ridiculously bright, and a lot of times I just mount this right above me, and I use this as a way to act as a hair light and also to light things that I'm showing off on my table. So I really love this light, and I think there's a ton of versatility with it, especially if you leave it plugged in with the USB-C cord. It's going to just last indefinitely. I really recommend a 45 watt USB-C power adapter to go with this. It doesn't include a charger brick, but you do get a short charging cable with this, and you also get the little mount, and you get the diffuser dome. So if you run this at the maximum brightness, expect to get just around an hour of battery life on it. I found that sometimes you'd get about 50 minutes of battery life on it, or sometimes you could get just over an hour. I typically run this at about 50 to 60%. If you go to half the power, then you'll get about 90 minutes or so. If you go to the minimum setting, you will get up to 15 hours of battery life out of this. So if you just want this to be a really small amount of light as a practical on a set, then you're going to get a lot more battery life out of it if you use it in the lowest setting. So I've been very pleasantly surprised with the amount of battery life and brightness out of this. I had one of the original Aperture MC lights, and I was never super impressed with how bright those get. Those are way dimmer when you compare it to this. The specs on this are a little bit difficult to explain, but basically this one will give you about 408 lux at 3 meters with the dome, which is decently bright. If you have it uncovered and you have it at 1 meter up next to something, you're going to get 1172 lux. And the older Aperture MC Pro light was 100 lux at 1 meter. That's with no diffusions. So this with diffusion is way brighter than the old Aperture MC, and you're just going to get way better quality of light out of this as well. It goes from 2300 kelvins to 10,000 kelvins on the white side of light, and you can also completely change any of the RGB colors on this to get any color that you would like. And it's just very practical to mount on your camera or out of the way. Use it as a hair light, a rim light, or you can even use it as a key light in a pinch for social media like videos. The Amaran Ace 25C is available in several different kits and versions. So if you get the bicolor 25X, then it's only $70. If you get this one, the 25C, then it's $100. And if you get the creator kit version of this, it's $125, which the creator kit does add a couple helpful accessories like a mini tripod. There's also a case and a grid that gives you more of a directional light. But I found for me, the 25C version with no accessories is exactly what I needed to add some extra light. Love using the quick release, and I also love the little magnetic dome attachment. Really, my only complaints are the dome does come off pretty easily. It's not gonna fall off on you if you're just pointing the light down, but it will fall off if you pull on the top of it. Another thing, this mount is really cool. I think it could have been a little bit better. I would have loved for it to have a little small thumb screw on the side to tighten and loosen this part, because it almost always feels like it's either too stiff or too loose. One other thing is this mount is made of a lot of plastic parts, which I think they could have used a little bit more metal construction on this, but it doesn't feel weak by any means. I do love that they put the 1/4 thread on the bottom of it, so you can easily attach this to a magic arm or any other sort of camera rigging accessories. So who is the Ace 25C for? The 25C is for someone who wants to add a little bit of color into their Aperture or Amaran ecosystem, and it's just so easy to set up and use. Love the controls on it, love the app control on it, and you can be super creative with this light. Use it as a key light, a fill light, a backlight, a hair light, a little B-roll light, or just really anything that you need a little bit of light. It's not going to be as bright as the big Aperture or Amaran lights with a gigantic softbox, but if you use this in the right way, it's going to be really handy for all your lighting needs. If you're interested in buying one of these, I do have links to buy in the description below. If you have any other questions about the 25C, leave a comment down below. I'd love to answer them. Like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.